Hello, my name is Justin Zych. Zych is a progressive metal band from the United States of America. It is my solo project, and it showcases my ability on multiple instruments. Zych is obviously my last name. That was the meaning behind the name of the band. Dante's Inferno Part 1 is the first solo album that I have released under the name Zych. It features 8 compositions of the first 8 chants of Dante's Inferno. The lyrics behind Dante's Inferno Part 1 were based off of the first 8 chants of Dante's Inferno. I really took the time to showcase the poetry of Dante Alighieri and tried to create melodies and lyrical hooks based upon that in a progressive metal atmosphere. The art behind this album, I commissioned 8 different pieces to be created, or I licensed them for this album. Behind me is the main piece of art, which was everything is either pen and ink or it is painted with acrylics or oils. I wanted real art with this, so you could actually capture that feeling and emotion inside of that art. This one was commissioned by Trisha Cavender. It's an acrylic. This is where, Dante goes into the forest, lost in the forest, and meets Virgil for the first time. Every single track on this album has a piece of art that goes with it to kind of help gather the feeling and emotion behind each song. I think it is important if you want to get your music out there. I'm one person. If I was to do distribution, PR, press releases and touring and put everything together, I would go crazy because that's a lot of work. So it's nice to have a label that you work with that can help distribute that product out. It's also great to, be a part of a network of different people inside of the music industry. And I really enjoy being a part of Metal Assault. And I think bands should really consider working with labels that have integrity and aren't just using you to make money on their own. You have to both, your 2 businesses coming together. I was about 10 or 11 years old. I picked up my father's guitar and I started playing. And from there, I started taking lessons with him and other instructors. Went to school for music, studied jazz and classical. And I really found a deep passion for heavy metal in my early teenage years when I found Metallica and Megadeth and Iron Maiden and Manowar. And from there, I just explored. I could go to my independent record store and just pick out like, hey, that's a cool cover right there. And I think YouTube had just started, and I could go to YouTube and check out bands before I bought the album, which was nice. So I really got into music at a young age, and because of that, that's my passion. The music industry is an interesting place. I think the one thing I would like to change is for consumers to get back into the physical product of music. I love picking up a record and I love picking up a CD. Digital music is accessible and easy for people to see, but I think there's so much quantity over quality, and if people took the time to put, just buy a physical product, I think you would help feed a musician, as well as you'd definitely be more excited about that piece of music you just picked up than just going click click. You just become a part of it. I think that's important. Well, there's tons of new bands coming out. I couldn't pinpoint one that really it got me excited because I've listened to so many. But I keep going back to film scores, listening to my favorite TV shows, the scores they've created. I love seeing how people harmonize different timbres of instruments since I've been creating music for guitars and piano and drums for a long time. It's fun to experiment with different instruments. So I keep finding myself going back to these film scores. Well, right now I am stationed in the Austin, San Antonio area of Texas. The music scene is very vibrant in this area. I can go to a show in either city, it being local metal, especially San Antonio, the local metal scene is pretty heavy. And people go out, people enjoy it. It's amazing. Got some big plans for the future of Zych. One of those being working on the next album in the works. Could be Dante's Inferno Part 2, could be not, who knows. There are some cool plans for some live shows in the future, so look forward to that. For any future news for Zych, please go to justinzych.com. Thank you, Antichrist Magazine TV, for featuring Zych and Dante's Inferno Part 1. Stay metal.